Right now, a Madison high school claims religious discrimination filing a federal lawsuit against the city.
Yeah, the future of an East Side strip club is up for debate tonight after several incidents there, including a shooting and stabbing.
Plus, we hear from someone who says they've been fired after their employer found out they supported the LGBTQ community.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
And thanks for joining us tonight. We have more details tonight after Edgewood High School filed a federal civil lawsuit against the city of Madison alleging religious discrimination.
This is all stemming from the ongoing debate over whether the school can use its athletic field to host home games. Now, essentially, this lawsuit claims that by prohibiting the school from holding anything outside of practices and gym classes on that field and withholding its permit to install lights at the stadium, the city is restricting its ability to further its religious mission and values. The complaint points out that all of the city's public high schools and the UW share the same zoning classifications as it does, and argues that the city is treating Edgewood on less than equal terms compared to those non-religious institutions. The suit also claims the limitations imposed by the city prohibit the school from holding other events like mass or prayer services at the field. Overall, Edgewood says the city is being arbitrary, unequal, and unlawful in this complaint. This is the result of a years-long debate about whether Edgewood High School should be able to host home games, particularly ones at night. Neighbors have been vocal in opposition, the ones living around there. Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway responded to the lawsuit this afternoon, saying in part that the city does not discriminate against any religion and the school should be working with those neighbors to resolve any ongoing tensions.
A committee under the Madison Common Council has decided to wait to revoke the liquor license for Visions nightclub. It now goes to a subcommittee to determine the nightclub's fate. Amy Reed joins us live from the City County building downtown to explain why this is a discussion in the first place. Amy?
People that live around Visions say they want it gone, so they're happy that the city is doing something. We just have to wait and see what that subcommittee decides. The nightclub has been a topic of conversation a number of times over the years, most recently for a stabbing and shooting outside the building late last year. An attorney with the city attorney's office filed a 56-page complaint that says Visions was breaking a number of ordinances inside. It also said police were called to that area 50 times since 2012 for disturbances, and neighbors have been complaining to the city for years about what a problem Visions is for the community. We talked to a woman who lives right by the club, and she told us what it's like there on a daily basis.
This is crazy. There's roaches on the floor, I've heard. It's enough. It's insane. I found the other day a lady in her truck passed out for about 7.5 hours. I thought she was dead and was called the police. She finally got out of there.
Why do people want to close Visions? It's been going on for 41 years. It's not because of some of the reasons you have. The reason they want to close Visions is certain people do not like adult entertainment. So they use other excuses to try to get rid of the nightclub.
That's the former owner of the nightclub. He started with his brother 41 years ago, and he says it's always been an issue. Like he said, he thinks people find complaints because they have a problem with the institution itself. The company's lawyer told us earlier this week the problems the complaint alleges stem from the Quick Trip that's across the street. They didn't have anything further to add tonight. Now, the subcommittee is made up of 3 people from the meeting tonight, including Alder Paul Skidmore and 2 other board members. They're still hashing out a date for when they'll go into further details about the issues the neighbors have and what that means for the future of Visions nightclub.
Let's turn things over now to weather. Meteorologist Dana Fulton over in the Weather Center with your first alert forecast. Dana?
Overall today, of course, very nice outside. We didn't get as much sunshine this morning as we were initially hoping for. The clouds kind of hanging around for a little bit. Here's a time lapse of this afternoon and our sunset, though, from our WISC-TV sky cam. A really pleasant end to the day. And right now, things are nice and quiet for us as we look at our Doppler track. Nothing new coming in overnight. Temperatures already dropping into the 60s. We're at 65 in the Dells, 52, though, towards Black River Falls, about 68 in Janesville right now. Compared to this time yesterday, quite a drop for most of southern Wisconsin. Our dew points in the 50s right now. That means it feels quite comfortable outside. We don't have any threat for any sort of patchy fog to develop by tomorrow morning. Temperatures will drop to the mid-50s overnight, and then as we head into your Thursday afternoon, plan on a mostly sunny sky. High temperatures below average in the mid-70s for your afternoon highs for Thursday and Friday, but we'll take a closer look at what's ahead for your weekend in just a few minutes.
All right, Dana, thank you. A Madison staple of almost 33 years, Michael's Frozen Custard will close its original location on Monroe Street in less than 3 weeks. This is because of a U.S. immigration policy. In 2015, the shop's owner, Michael Dix, married Sergio de la Hernandez, who is an undocumented immigrant from Mexico. Dix sponsored Hernandez for a U.S. visa so he could become a U.S. citizen. Hernandez went to Mexico a year ago for his visa interview and was told he could not return because he had been in the country illegally so long.
I think it's just really a heartbreaking situation. I mean, Michael started this business 33 years ago using his grandma's custard recipe. It's grown, the community loves it. To think that we would lose this and all the jobs it provides.
Now, the decision can be appealed, but a denial would mean Dix will likely close the other Michael's locations and move abroad to be with his spouse. We reached out to the U.S. State Department to find out why Hernandez's visa was denied, but they said they could not comment on specific cases due to confidentiality reasons.
A person in Madison says they are out of the job after the school where they worked terminated their employment because that person supports LGBTQ communities. Jamie Perez has that story for us tonight. Jamie?
This person that we talked to wanted to remain anonymous because they don't want this to hurt their chances of finding a new job, but they did feel it was important to tell their story, so we'll just call this person Sam. Now, Sam tells me they were already almost entirely moved into their new classroom at school when they were told that their contract was being terminated after the school saw pride colors show up in a Facebook photo. This is the photo that was posted on Sam's Facebook page from a while back that caused the staff at the Immaculate Heart of Mary Catholic School to change their minds about hiring Sam.
She asked me about that. I'm like, yeah, well, I will be honest, I do support the LGBT community. And what she said then, and she said, that's fine, but you will have to take it down. We all have our own personal values. Sam took the photo down, but as Sam was moving things into their new classroom, a nun approached, asking about a bumper sticker on Sam's car. She's like, oh, do you work here? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be the new third grade teacher. She's like, oh, that's great. She's like, I was walking by and I saw your bumper sticker and it says, America needs nasty woman. If you're going to work here, you're going to be a holy woman. Sam said they took that down too. A week later, Sam got a call asking to meet with the pastor at school. We're rescinding your contract. The priest wasn't very happy with the LGBT post. Sam said even after telling the school they were willing to comply with the rules and keep their support of the LGBTQ community private, Sam is still without a job now. The school declined an on-camera interview but put out this statement saying all teachers in a Catholic school are expected to comport themselves publicly in a way that is consistent with the church moral teachings. Multiple clear indications emerged and were brought to the school's attention that the teacher publicly held positions contrary to the church's teachings. After consulting with the pastor, the decision was made to rescind/terminate the contract. To be honest, if we're looking really into the Catholic Church, the Pope has defended the LGBT community. Sam said after quitting their last job to take this new one, only to have it taken away is something they're just trying to move forward with, but admits that it's been difficult to accept. We can still hold certain values and be part of the Catholic faith and the Catholic community, so I'm still shocked that this is 2019 and this is still happening.
Sam said they have no plans to file a lawsuit against the school and that they just want to find a job that supports everything about them. I did reach out to employment attorneys who said when it comes to the Catholic Church, there are certain exemptions that allow them to not hire certain people, but it really depends on what was said in that contract and the specific circumstances surrounding it.
The Department of Natural Resources is taking down the bunker where a Wisconsin fugitive says he lived for more than 3 years. Pretty soon, they hope that area in Portage County will look normal again. Jeremiah Button is accused of multiple sex crimes against children. The roof of the bunker has been removed, and today, the Wisconsin DNR cleaned out the inside. The goal is to get all of the items out of that bunker by tomorrow.
Madison Police Department asking for help identifying a burglar who stole a woman's undergarments this morning. This video is from inside the West Gorham Street apartment. Police say the 22-year-old woman woke up to a stranger standing in her apartment. The burglar was using a cell phone flashlight and ran away when the victim woke up. Police say there were no signs of any forced entry. Anyone with information on who this person is asked to call police. A business owner in Milwaukee is now forced to make some major decisions after a suspected drunk driver crashed into his building early this morning. The owner, Brian Ho, had to close his nail salon in this building last September because of structural issues. He then fixed those issues, planned to open up again soon until he received the bad news that someone had crashed into his building today. There are also 3 apartments apartments on the top level of that building. Fortunately, no one was in the building at the time of that crash.
Del Monte is selling its corn packing plant in Cambria. According to the company, it will sell that plant as an operating facility to a new buyer at the end of the current pack season. Now, according to the Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development, it's received no layoff notice from the plant, but a representative from that company says the plant's hundreds of employees will be eligible for severance pay. Village President Glenn Williams says he has been assured that the new buyer will allow current employees to keep their jobs at the plant in the long run. However, we still don't know who that new buyer is. The UW is working to find a new long-term home for a sculpture that has stood outside Camp Randall for the last 14 years. Today, Nails Tales was taken down at the corner of Regent Street and Breeze Terrace before it was hauled away and put into storage. Now, the statue is not included in the $1.8 million plan to renovate the plaza right outside Camp Randall and the field house as well. The renovation work will begin early of next year and will be done by the 2020 football season. The artist of Nails Tales, it's Donald Lipsky, says the university has stayed in touch with him and is working with him to find a new spot for the sculpture. Still ahead tonight, the field of Democratic hopefuls is shrinking as another candidate drops out of the presidential primary race.
Plus, the Secret Service makes a trip to Wisconsin, ironing out some security details for next year's Democratic National Convention. Fires are raging at a record rate in Brazil's Amazon rainforest. Scientists warn it could strike a devastating blow to the fight against climate change. Those fires are burning at the highest rate since the country's Space Research Center started tracking them back in 2013. There have been over 72,000 fires in Brazil this year, with more than half of them in the Amazon region. That's more than an 80% increase compared with the same period last year. The Amazon is often referred to as the planet's lungs, producing 20% of the oxygen in the Earth's atmosphere. 7 environmental and animal protection groups have filed the first lawsuit challenging the Trump administration's recent rollbacks to the Endangered Species Act. Their lawsuit, filed today in federal court in San Francisco, comes after the federal government announced last week it was rescinding some protections for wildlife. The groups argue that the Trump administration failed to analyze the effect of the new rules. The Endangered Species Act has been credited with helping save several species from extinction, but Republicans have long pushed to change the law.
President Trump says a new executive order signed today will eliminate student debt for thousands of disabled veterans. He signed it this afternoon while attending the 75th Annual American Veterans Convention in Louisville, Kentucky. The president, who was accompanied by Education Secretary Betsy DeVos, said that proposal would eliminate an average of $30,000 for each of the more than 25,000 eligible veterans. Washington Governor Jay Inslee is ending his bid for the Democratic presidential nomination. Inslee announced his decision tonight on MSNBC, saying that it's become clear he will not win. He did not say, however, whether he intended to seek a third term as governor. While he had qualified for the first 2 presidential debates this summer, Inslee struggled to gain traction in the crowded Democratic field.
The security plan for the 2020 Democratic National Convention is coming together, and today, Secret Service came to Milwaukee to give an update on the progress. They say their goal is maximum security with a minimum impact. They're still in the early stages of planning, but they will have help from every level of law enforcement.
This is a major event. Make no mistake about it. This is a national special security event. It's something that occurs every 4 years.
FEMA, the National Air Guard, State Police, U.S. Capitol Police, and Milwaukee Police are all crafting that security plan.
All right, let's turn it over now to Dana Fulton with a look at the first alert forecast and another really nice day out there. And I hear they're about to get better.
Yeah, they are going to get better, or at least stay pretty good for us through the rest of the work week and into the weekend. Of course, encouraging everybody today to get some time outside. If you could, this photo from Wanakee, they got to see The Incredibles 2. No spoiler alerts. Out at the park this evening. This is right after sunset, so you still had some nice color in the sky, but a perfect giant projection screen, of course. It was a great night for a movie outside, if you could. If not, inside movies, also okay. Our Doppler track's nice and quiet right now. No rain coming through overnight. Barely even any clouds in the sky. Will stay partly cloudy overnight and pretty comfortable. Right now we're at about 67 in Madison. Our dew points though in the mid-50s, and that breeze light from the north-northwest at about 3 miles per hour. So we do have that cold front well to the south now. High pressure ridging in and keeping things quiet through the northern plains and northern Midwest. That means that we're going to fall into a really nice pattern of mostly sunny skies and comfortable temperatures and low dew points for the next several days. We don't have anything new moving in and nothing that's going to stall on over us. Dew points compared to this time yesterday, of course, a major drop in Madison, about a 13-degree drop in the teens, though, throughout southern Wisconsin. Overnight, a few clouds. Tomorrow, though, plan on a mostly sunny sky. Friday, we'll also see a mostly sunny sky, and you guessed it, you can copy and paste that forecast in for the weekend. It'll be just a little warmer for Saturday and Sunday, but still mostly sunny for both days. Of course, no severe weather potential for us today. That severe weather well to the south. The chance for some thunderstorms really lines up right where that cold front is right now. They may see a few storms overnight heading into tomorrow. Now, overnight temperatures will drop quite a bit into the mid-50s heading into Thursday morning. So maybe just a little cool for some areas in the morning, especially in the shade, but in the afternoon, again, nice and sunny. Afternoon highs will be in the mid-70s. For Friday, plan on those temperatures falling to the mid-50s yet again, and then a nice sunny sky popping up for us later on in the afternoon. Afternoon highs will again be in the mid-70s for Friday. Overnight temperatures will continue to fall with that partly cloudy sky. Our breeze, thankfully, staying very, very light for us. Light from the north, becoming more of a northeast flow by tomorrow afternoon. We'll plan on landing at about 56 for Madison, our overnight low. Again, a partly cloudy sky and certainly much cooler outside. We started the day off today in the mid-60s, so about a 10-degree drop for us for tomorrow morning. Our breeze stays light from the north. Tomorrow afternoon, though, it's that northeast breeze. High temperatures will be just a little below average in the mid-70s, but mostly sunny and certainly very pleasant outside. Still a very nice stretch heading into the weekend. Mid-70s for Thursday and for Friday. Overnight low temperatures will be in the mid-50s for both Friday and Saturday morning. And then for Saturday and Sunday afternoon, it will be just a little warmer, but still right at average in the upper 70s for afternoon highs. We don't have to factor in much humidity for this weekend. It's not until the start of next week that we do have a little more moisture coming on in. The humidity picks up, temperatures climb a little bit, close to 80 for the start of next week. We do have scattered showers and thunderstorms for Monday, and then the chance for some showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday. Behind that system, though, temperatures will drop back into the mid-70s, and we're looking at actually a pretty quiet into August. Nothing major coming in there as we look towards the end of the month. A nice stretch as far as temperatures are concerned and sky conditions. So a really pleasant spot for us right now. I don't want to say that it's boring in the weather office.
That's
but,
okay.
Yeah.
We're good with
It's
it.
pretty okay for us right
deserve to
now.
be bored.
It's just calm and easy for today.
It's good news for all those people starting to plan out the football calendar, too.
Absolutely.
Friday Night Lights.
Yes.
Looking perfect.
Things are looking great for the next few Fridays, as far out as we'll go with forecasting, I should say.
Awesome. Thank you, Dana.
Thanks, Dana. All right, coming up in sports, now that Quintez Cephas is back, it's time to see what he can do to help the Badgers sooner rather than later. Kevin's in next with sports.
Now it's go time. Quintez Cephas is back on the Wisconsin football team. The high fives and the hugs are finished, and the Badgers are getting ready for their season opener in 9 days. Cephas was working out on his own for the past year, but he hasn't played at game speed with opponents. Head coach Paul Chryst said he isn't putting a timetable on what he wants Cephas to be able to do by when. It's just good to have an impact player back on the field.
You just treat him like a guy that's had his first practice. I think there's a lot for him to get going. And some things have changed, offensively a little bit, and so just getting him back into the rhythm.
flying around, full of energy, and like I said, I was fortunate enough to play with him my first year, so it's like he never missed a beat.
Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers may or may not play tomorrow night. He has back stiffness. Green Bay's in Winnipeg to take on the Raiders. Head coach Matt LaFleur said it wouldn't make or break them if Rodgers didn't play any preseason games. Rodgers says he's fine with the new offense and he's fine with the free trip to Canada.
Been to Montreal, been to other various parts of BC, never been to Winnipeg, but I'm sure there's some Packer fans up there. I'm excited to get up there and see the folks up there. I've been a fan of the CFL for a while, so you know, I know how much those cities that have a team, how much it means to them, and it's going to be exciting to get up there and play.
At this time last year, the Brewers were 6 games back in the division. Entering play tonight, they trailed the Cardinals by 4 and sat 3.5 out of the wild card, trying to avoid a sweep at Busch Stadium. 1-0 in the first. Mike Moustakas going to hit his 31st. Golfs one out to right, and that made it 4-0 visitors. Same score in the fourth. Keston Hiura lines one to left. Marcelo Ozuna didn't want to strain himself. Okay, it's a long game. Christian Yelich was on first. He was on second. He was on third. He streaks around the bases and scores. Brewers lead right now 5-3 in a rain delay in the 8th inning. Cubs and Gigantes at Wrigley Field. Kyle Schwarber. Power to all fields. Not a lot of pitching and defense tonight. That made it 6-2 Cubs, and we get on the seesaw. Former Brewer Stephen Vogt still in the baseball. Look at that. He's having a big game. He cuts in the Cubs' lead right now. The Cubs have just retaken the lead 12-11 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Question, how many local stations in Madison broadcast a high school football game each week? 1. Us, that's it. That's the list. Season 12 of the Prip Mania Game of the Week. MG at Wanakee. I'm taking the over in the scoring. Jay Wilson, Bill Brophy, Alan Minert will bring you the game live on channel3000.com Friday at 7 o'clock. Woman Crush Wednesday. Sister Jean turned 100 today. The chaplain for the Loyola men's basketball team stole our hearts 2 years ago when they went to the Final Four and almost won me a bracket pool. She said, I eat well, I sleep well, and hopefully I pray well. Here is to 100 more for that young lady. We are back right after this.
And if people have a good time, because I'm 100, that
Gary's down at Wrigley tonight.
Yeah, right.
Good luck, charm, Gary
They're
Canalti.
8-0 this year with Gary at Wrigley.
Stay. Not that we don't love you.
Don't
Just
jinx
stay.
it. Yeah, right.
But it's raining on the Brewers down in St. Louis right now.
It is right now. Now for us, of course, it's nice and dry, and we're going to stay dry through the rest of the work week and into this weekend. Mostly sunny for Thursday and Friday. Temperatures will be in the mid-70s for afternoon highs. By the weekend, we're in the upper 70s. Really pleasant there, and our next system brings in some showers and thunderstorms for the start of next week. So we'll be watching that rain come in for Monday and Tuesday.
Dana, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
We'll be back tomorrow. Have a good one.